What's up? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you're coming back, thanks for tuning in. Let's get right to making this shoe. So what are we doing today? Well, we are putting the padding in, we're putting the liner in, we're putting all the insides, the guts inside the shoe, and getting it ready to come alive. But for now, what we're gonna have to do is the liner that I cut out previously, go check that video out. I'm gonna stitch that along backwards, spray some glue onto it, stick the foam pad on the inside as well. I'm using two layers of a 1/4 inch, so instead of doing a full-on 1/2 inch, I like 2 1/4 inch layers. It's more comfortable and it gives a little bit more movement, a little more comfortable though, in my opinion. So we're gonna do that, boom, backwards, flip it over. It's gonna give a nice seamless crease, so that's going to be nice. We're going to have to do that all the way around to about right here, all the way to about here. We're going to have to punch some holes in one at some point so we could put laces in. I think I'm going to go with off-white laces, like some orange laces that say off-white on it. And then on the sole, I think I'm going to put like something in parentheses like that, kind of make it like a off-white Air Force One. But then at the same time, it's not a off-white Air Force One. It kind of has its own style, its own taste. Because I don't want to do exactly like that. Because if I was going to do an off-white shoe, you know, then I would cut the foam. I'd have the foam exposed right here, some other stuff. But I just want some subtle changes. So this is what we're gonna work with. Right here, I got my foam. You'll see this later. This is kind of what the foam looks like, just to give a detail. So this is going to be the back piece. This is the upper piece. As you can tell, it is a 1/4 inch. So if that wants to zoom in, so 1/4 inch. Then when you put 2 1/4 inches together, obviously it's going to make a 1/2 inch. But it's just a lot better than having a full-on 1/2 inch because, I don't know, just in my opinion, I think it's more comfortable and it's just a little bit more practical as well. Because then, as you could see, instead of doing a 1/2 inch and then you got to shave it down, you just got two different shapes. So we're gonna do that as well as the liner. We're gonna put that in. It's gonna give it some comfort, some nice padding so it could fill up the inside, and it's gonna look cool. But until then, let's get right to it. Let's start time-lapsing all of it, and I'll show you what we're doing. Be seen that I stitched it on backwards. So as you can see, the inside liner, I stitched it on the outside. Well, why I do that is if you flip it over and you put it on the inside, now you got this very clean seam and you got a liner. So that's what I just did. So I got to add some padding to it that I cut out earlier, as you saw. I'm gonna add the padding, I'm gonna glue that in, stitch it all up, and this shoe will pretty much be ready to get lasted. But as you can see, for now, this is what we're working with. Look at that. It's coming out really nice. Kind of gives me that lobster vibe. That's what I was going for, so I'm super happy with it. But yeah, this is what they look like. Boom. You know, the inside, once we put the padding in there, then it will look official. But I mean, we are getting somewhere with this, so let's keep on stitching and gluing. So we are all done, and this is where we're at. Look at that. As I said, backwards. So I glued this piece on, glued the inside piece on, if you could see that. So what you're gonna do now is to make it nice and seamless. As I said, you're just gonna flip it over. So you got this, just flip it over, boom, push that out. You're gonna push this out, flip it over, push that piece out. You're pretty much gonna shove it down there. And what this is gonna do is give you a cool shoe. So this is what the inside looks like. Boom. And there you go. You got your shoe. This is all done. There you go. You just tie the bottom, and as you can see, you know, you got the padding. Padding's all nice and lined up. I really like this. Oh, the detail. It looks so nice and simple. Yet it's really pops. As you can see, you know, from far away, that's what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna have to stitch some more stuff in here just to keep this liner here as well. But as far as now, you know, I'm super happy with how it's looking. It's pretty much a shoe from now. All that I'm gonna have to do is get the sole, and this will be the next episode, so you'll see how I last the shoe. But we're gonna get the mold, and we're gonna put this outer layer on top of the mold. We're gonna pretty much just shape the shoe. Then we're gonna put it on top of the sole, hammer it on, and boom, you got yourself an Air Jordan 1. So just kind of gives you a little idea. This is what it's gonna look like now that it's pretty much all together with the orange tongue, obviously. So I'm so stoked about these. These are coming out so cool. That one's the focus. Just all the detail, you know, the python, all the texture. It's just super cool. So that's what we are working with. I really like the white Nike as well. It's really popping. I'm happy that I went with that instead of like a black or orange like outlined one. I think it just goes a lot better, especially tying in with the inside as well. But you know, this is now where we're at. So as I said, the next step is gonna be hole punching the holes right here. I'm gonna have to stitch the tongue on there. We're gonna lace that up, throw it into the last. We're gonna shape the shoe, give it its shape, give it its sole, and then from there you throw on the sole, and you got yourself a sneaking shoe. I'm gonna have to as well hand stitch the sole right onto the shoe. So so as you can see, you're gonna want to stitch the sole onto the shoe, because even though you have it glued on, it can possibly get loose. You could get some water in there or whatever. So you just want to hand stitch, hand stitch, hand stitch, hand stitch, and after you got all the way around, it's pretty much going to be on. But that's what I'm going to be doing for the Air Forces as well. It's just something that you want to do. So as you can see, a little tip as well, you got some you got lines that are going across that. That's where you're going to make it even, but I'll describe that later. But for now, you know, this is where we're at. We'll give a little turn around there. I really like this white tab as well. So, and then if you want to open it up. So thanks for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out all my other videos. It really helps out a lot if you just, you know, hit that like button real quick and hit that subscribe button. We're going to be lasting these in the next video, so stay tuned. But until then, see ya.